I know nobody has told you this before, but understand that those little butterflies, the ones that are flying all around in your stomach, they're trying to get out, okay? They're trying to tell you that you need to get out. Those are not cute. After the first couple of little dates where things are uncertain, those butterflies should calm the hell down. And if they don't, then you really need to get out of there so fast, because your body is literally telling you that you are feeling anxious around this person. The first couple of dates, it's cute, you know, you're trying to figure out their vibe, you don't know them well enough. But after you start to get to know them, all of those fears and anxieties and question marks should start to be alleviated. The butterflies should start like fluttering a little bit slower and slower and slower with each passing date. If that's not what's happening in your body, you can get off this video and just start running now. Like, you don't even need to finish this video. It took me 4.5 years of being in an emotionally abusive relationship to really understand what those butterflies were trying to say. And I know they were so tired. Like, they were just going crazy for 4+ years. I finally gave them a rest and ran away and never, ever, ever looked back. Relationships should feel safe. Relationships should feel predictable. Now, I don't mean that he needs to be super predictable to the fact that like you guys always eat at the same place for date night, or he always wears the same clothes. I feel like predictability gets a bad rep in relationships because it translates to boring. No, what I'm saying is you shouldn't be wondering if he's gonna text you in the morning. That's what I mean. Like, you should be able to predict that he's gonna call you in the morning. You should be able to predict that if you fall asleep on accident one night at 8 p.m., that you have a few missed calls because he's waiting for you to say goodnight. Like, those should be predictable things. You should be able to predict that if he said he's gonna come pick you up at 7 p.m. for a date, then he's going to be there at 6:55. Like, that is not boring. That is just healthy predictability. That is respect. That is somebody who values you, who values your time, who is showing up consistently to let you know that they're taking you serious. Predictability in that sense is not boring. Safety is not boring. I saw a TikTok the other day where a girl was literally doing her hair and she just put text on screen, and she said she'd been so used to chaotic, toxic relationships that when she got into a healthy relationship and got married, for a period of time she was bored. She explained it all in the caption, but I just knew people were gonna like misunderstand her. And people were just like, what do you mean it's boring? Like, I've been in this emotionally abusive relationship and I'm in a toxic relationship. I wish I had a healthy man. But the reality is that if you are used to attracting toxic people, if those are the kinds of relationships, if you look at your relationship pattern and you're honest with yourself and you're used to that toxicity, subconsciously, you are addicted to that feeling of uncertainty. You are addicted to that feeling of unpredictability. And so once you get that predictability, once you are in that healthy love or in that healthy relationship, it feels boring, not because it's boring. Like, I am not bored a day in my life in this relationship. I have so much fun with him. Like, we have fun, but the fun isn't wondering if he's gonna tell me he loves me or not. Like, that's, when you say it out loud, it sounds funny because I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at my old self. I just want you to know that. Like, I used to think that was fun. Like, I used to think it was fun to wonder, like, how many times in this year will he tell me he loves me? Will he? How many times in this year will he show me affection in public? How many times in this, and I'm genuinely saying in this year, because I could count on one hand the amount of times my ex was affectionate. And I thought it was fun, not because it's actually fun, but because my body got addicted to that feeling of butterflies. My body got addicted to that dopamine, spike when one good thing would happen amongst all the hundreds of really bad things that were happening. I really craved that feeling of that high when one good thing would happen. And I just spent so many years chasing after that one high amongst all the lows. So that when you're in a relationship where the highs become the norm, now you have this new benchmark where you're like, something toxic needs to happen because I need an outlier. I need contrast. He's doing all the right things and that feels boring because now there's no dopamine spike that comes with it because It's happening often, and now I'm starting to expect it. So when you get to a place where you're expecting the text messages, where you're expecting the date nights, where you're expecting the gifts, or you're just expecting the acts of service where someone is constantly showing you they love and care about you, the bar chart or whatever, however you're charting this in your brain as I'm talking, like it starts to look very consistent. The behaviors are charted very consistently. So even though they're all really good things, you're waiting for something to spike really low or really high. And that's often why some of us, and I'm guilty of this, I'm not gonna lie, before we got married, I was definitely guilty of this. Some of us will unintentionally cause conflict in a healthy, stable relationship because we're waiting for that contrast. We need to feel something different from that predictability because our past relationships have taught us to indirectly feel safe in that unpredictability. The predictability does not feel safe for us because we don't feel like we're in control of it. So maybe if we throw a monkey wrench in this relationship, even though we'll be crying for 3 nights, we'll feel like we controlled something. We did something. We want that feeling of control over it because it feels so foreign to us. All I want you to know from this is that those butterflies, they're letting you know that this roller coaster is about to drop. You know that if you've ever gotten on a roller coaster, you don't feel butterflies when it drops. You feel butterflies in the anticipation of it. There's also that like one little moment where your heart drops, like right before it drops. As it's dropping, you actually feel fine. Okay, it's when it's like going up the tracks really, 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 really slowly that you're feeling all of that anticipation. You're scared, you're anxious, you're nervous, you're excited, right? You are just waiting for this person to do something bad. That is what your butterflies are there for. They're flying around anticipating this person doing something crazy that's gonna throw you off. And so you look at those butterflies as excitement. Would you really be excited if you knew that tomorrow he was gonna cheat on you? Like, that doesn't sound right. When you say that out loud, you know that you're not actually excited for that. But have you ever tried to look through someone's phone and feel those butterflies? That's literally you going up the roller coaster, girl. Like, whether you find something or not, if the feeling that you feel as you're looking through someone's phone to see if they're cheating on you is the same feeling you're feeling on a date with him, that should tell you something about what that feeling actually is. So just understand that it is 100% okay to be excited, even nervous, as you are dating someone. But the more that they reveal themselves to you, the more that those feelings should subside. If you are just an introverted, shy, nervous person, then this is gonna happen to varying degrees. But my point is that as you meet someone and as they help you understand who they are, you should feel safer and safer and safer. And those butterflies should eventually get less and less and less until they just fly away because they're free and they don't need to be there anymore. You don't need warning signs. You need to be in a relationship where the warning signs know that they are free to fly away and go to someone else's stomach that needs to be warned about their relationship. I thought there was something wrong with my relationship because the butterflies started flying away. So I started wondering, like, does this mean that I shouldn't be with him? Does this mean that this isn't the right guy? Because with all these other guys, I had these butterflies. They were intense. And I look back on all those other guys and I'm like, yeah, but they're all ain't shit guys. Like, these are not the kinds of men that I would have married. Like, they always showed their true colors, and they showed their true colors when the butterflies were going crazy. So why am I hinging the quality of this relationship off of something that was present when those relationships were bad? So that just made me create my own rule book where I'm just like, how do I feel right now in this moment? Do I feel safe? Yes. The answer was always yes. Do I feel loved? Yes. The answer was always a resounding yes. Do I feel good with this person? Do I like spending time with them? Am I sick of them? That was the only one where the answer was always no. Like, I was never sick of them. So learning to rewrite the questions that I'm asking myself to, do I feel safe and loved? And letting that be the determinant of how I feel in the moment was such a game changer, such a game changer. And it made it so that I didn't miss out on what would be the best thing for me and what would ultimately heal my perception of love, would rewrite the perception of love that I had, would rewrite the perception of what does it mean to be in a healthy relationship, because I hadn't known that in the past. I'd only seen that from my parents and from the relationship I had with my parents, but I'd never experienced that romantically myself. So listen to those butterflies, my love. I promise you, they're not saying what you think they're saying, okay? So listen to them. They are telling you that you feel unsafe. They are telling you that you feel anxious. You feel uneasy around this person. And that is not how you want to feel in a long-term healthy relationship. Let me know if you have any questions about this, because I know this isn't the most popular advice, but it's real. I love you so, so much. And as always, stay powerful, my loves.